Joining us tonight with his take is syndicated columnist Cal Thomas. Cal, great to see you again. Welcome back. As we mentioned, it was a weekend of objects flying in the sky. The latest one shot down over domestic waters in Michigan's Lake Huron. What do you think is going on here? Should we be concerned, and are you concerned?
Well, I am, Tracy. Secretary Austin just arrived in Brussels a few hours ago, and he said that there was no threat, a physical threat to any Americans on the ground, but there could be an intelligence threat. Well, I think that's, apples and oranges. The Chinese are very active in their espionage activities. I spoke last week with former Secretary of State Mike Pompeo, and he said virtually everything that is being manufactured in China now, including solar panels, potentially could have intelligence gathering objectives. The Chinese Communist Party is not just an adversary, they are rapidly becoming an enemy. There are threats to invade Taiwan, threats by some of their top generals that they could launch ICBMs that would wipe out Los Angeles. These are not, idle threats. They're real, and we need to be concerned about them. The interesting thing about this is you're getting pushback from both Republicans and Democrats, something very rare on Capitol Hill these days. And I think there have been bipartisan calls for the president to address this. Ronald Reagan used to address these threats when it came to the Soviet Union, and I think President Biden has an obligation to tell as much as he possibly can because of these incidents. And how many more are there going to be? Are we going to keep shooting down these things or what? We need to know the answer to those questions.
Absolutely. I mean, it's very concerning. A National Security Council spokesman, John Kirby, he held a briefing this afternoon about these unidentified objects, but still, a lot of questions, more questions than answers. Do you think, going back to President Biden speaking, do you think that will help the American people during this time to hear our commander-in-chief talk about these developments?
Well, it will if he tells the truth about it. Now, being a columnist, an opinion writer, I have some thoughts about this, whether it's Hunter Biden's relationship with Chinese businesses and paying a commission to the, quote, the big guy, meaning his father, when he was out of office, and then when he was vice president, using his family connections to conduct business with the people representing the Chinese Communist Party. I think a case might be made, or certainly questions asked, whether the president's holding back his criticism of China because of information they may have on Hunter and himself. Now, I don't know if that's a fact or not, but it's certainly plausible, and it's something that I hope many of the committees in the now dominated House of Representatives by Republicans will start asking. These are legitimate questions.
And Cal, it's not just concerns in the sky when it comes to China, but also on the ground here in the United States. Let's talk a little bit about that.
Well, the Chinese have been conducting espionage on many levels for many years. They're stealing our intellectual property. The Border Patrol just last week said there had been a 700% increase in migrants from China coming over the southern border. Now, why would migrants from China go to Mexico to sneak into the United States? There are students who come on exchange programs and non-exchange programs to the United States, study here, study at places like MIT, which is on the cutting edge of technology among universities in the United States, and then go back to China with their information and knowledge. So I think we need to have a more serious outlook, like we took for more than 40 years with the Soviet Union during the Cold War when it comes to China.
Cal, 20 seconds left. Final thoughts.
Well, I know that there's been some concern about death tourism in Oregon, which is opening up now for people to come and commit assisted suicide there. I think this is the natural outgrowth of a nation that has forgotten God. As G.K. Chesterton, the famous Catholic writer, once said, the danger when men stop believing in God is not that they'll believe in nothing, but that they'll believe in anything.
Cal, always great to have you on. Thank you so much for your insights.
Thank you, Tracy.
We appreciate it.